China constantly said that UN is a very important intra-government organization, and China support UN's pillar role in the multilateralism. When it comes to peacekeeping, what's your thought? Do you think China has upheld its commitment?
Of course, yes, they do. First of all, China is a very important troop contributing country. Today we have more than 1,800 Chinese peacekeepers in 8 missions, and I want to pay special tribute to them, because lately they have been undergoing very difficult situations, particularly in Lebanon, where UNIFIL was really under fire for a number of weeks, and the Chinese peacekeepers, together with their comrades, they stood firm, and I think it was a testimony of their commitment and resilience. So it's a very highly appreciated contribution. But then, in addition to Chinese contribution to with men and women and equipment, we expect a lot from China, and we know we will get this support in terms of helping us adapt peacekeeping. We are, as I indicated, working on what the future of peacekeeping could look like. In other words, what are the key challenges? How do we respond to these challenges? How do we adapt the existing peacekeeping operation? And if there were new peacekeeping operations that were to be created, what would they look like? They would have to be very different from those which were created 50 years ago, even if it's about the same mandate, even if it's about monitoring ceasefire, for example. And we very much look forward to suggestions, ID, and inputs from China, the same way that we are very much looking forward to continue a good cooperation on some specific projects that have to do with training, or that have to do with making sure that our peacekeeping operations are safer, safety and security of peacekeepers remaining a very important priority.
We know that a couple of days ago, there's an announcement that there's exchanges of 5 Lebanese from Israel released, and that's the efforts from the mechanism, what we were referring to with UNIFIL, between UNIFIL, Israel, and Lebanon. Can you give us some updates? What's the development now? What's the situation of UNIFIL now?
Certainly. Well, in southern Lebanon, and in Lebanon in general, I think we've seen, obviously, an improvement in the sense that politically Lebanon has a president and a government. We're very much working with them, and the Lebanese Armed Forces has deployed in a very significant number of positions, more than 100 positions. UNIFIL is actively supporting the Lebanese Armed Forces in this redeployment, and parallel to that, there has been a redeployment of the Israeli Defense Force out of Lebanon. Now, we would hope that this movement will continue. We would hope that we'll reach a point where the security needs of Israel and at the same time the security of Lebanon can be guaranteed, without having the Israeli Defense Forces remaining in some positions in southern Lebanon, and with the Lebanese Armed Forces being fully in control of the whole territory of Lebanon. I think that is an objective which is, first of all, the Security Council objective, the Resolution 1701, but I think that would also be beneficial to both Lebanon and Israel. Lately, we've seen encouraging indications in terms of the diplomatic efforts that are ongoing with the support of third parties. This mechanism, which is functioning well with Lebanon, Israel, the United States, France, and the United Nations. So, there are still some challenges, but I think it's moving in the right direction. Obviously, we are committed to helping that positive evolution with UNIFIL, which continues to play a very important role. And our commitment is very strong to achieving further progress.
Mr. Lacroix, now UNDOF. The Defense Minister of Israel, Mr. Katz, said, and I quote, "The IDF is prepared to stay in Syria for an unlimited amount of time. We will hold the security area in Hermon, the mountain, and make sure that all the security zone in southern Syria is demilitarized and clear of weapons and threats." So do you think the situation in southern Syria is in the right direction?
Well, I think that it is important, first of all, to make sure that this Disengagement of Forces Agreement for 1974 between Israel and the Syrian Arab Republic continues to be respected. Because ultimately what we want, and also our mandate as UN, is to preserve peace and stability in the region. Now, it is clear that there has been changes in Syria, and I was there recently. I've interacted with the transitional authorities, and these changes may have affected the way that security is perceived both on the Israeli side as well as on the Syrian side. And of course there is a recomposition in terms of the security apparatus in Syria, the Syrian military and all this. So we do understand that it's a phase that is very much a transition, potentially with uncertainties in both parties. But I believe that the objective needs to be a full respect and implementation of this 1974 agreement, and we continue to be, as UN, committed to that objective. We continue to have the same mandate, which is founded on this 1974 agreement. And we will do our best.
But does the presence of Israeli IDF affected the mandate of UNDOF?
Well, the presence of the IDF in the so-called area of separation, which the Israelis have said is temporary, that these were the indication we had from our Israeli counterparts on a number of occasions. Obviously, we would hope that at some point this presence will be reversed and terminated, because as you know, as per the agreement and as per Security Council resolution, this area of separation is an area where the only military presence has to be UNDOF's military presence. So obviously our goal would be to see a reversal to that situation, which would be fully consistent with resolution of the Security Council.